Today, May the 4th, Star Wars Day, a day when nerds of all ages proudly proclaim, "May the 4th be with you," or else they're saying, "Luke, I am your father." We have seen in the 70s smash hit morph into a major money-making world of fantasy TV and film, the latest, Avengers 2, grossing more than $187 million in the opening weekend. To explain the nerd culture, welcome to The Hardline. A host on ConTV, a digital pop culture platform, Seth Everett joins us. Seth, thanks for being here today.
Ed, it's good to speak to you. How are you, my man?
It's another day in paradise. I saw Avengers 2. I loved it. My nerd came out. Everything was fine. I loved it. So what is it now? Have the nerds indeed taken over Hollywood, Seth? Is it fair to say that the only time you get a really good movie everybody wants to see is when there's nerds in line?
Well, 10 years ago, if we were talking, it would have been about the Philadelphia Phillies. But, the one thing that you have to remember is, this was my hobby when I turned into a sportscaster. I've been doing sports for 20 years, and this became my hobby. And it was something that I learned wasn't for children. There are some phenomenal things being written that were just adult, and it became a hobby.
Wait a minute, stop right there, Seth. I'm going to stop you there because that's a key.
Sure.
A lot of what goes on here, people say, wait a minute, it's only the comics, it's only funnies,
right.
It's not really socially relevant. Look, we're not trying to change the world here, but if you look at some of the scripts that are being written, there are underlying stories, there is emotion, there is life, there's things going on. You got explosions everywhere, but there is still some great movie making and some great writing going on here.
Sure. I mean, look at the new Netflix Marvel's Daredevil. It's one of the most phenomenal television shows. You don't have to like a comic book. You never had to pick up a comic book. I think the biggest change was when Marvel launched their own studio, because what happened, Iron Man was a character, let's face it, Iron Man was a character that was boring. And what they did was they tweaked him just enough to welcome him to the mainstream and made a fortune. And if you started to see the way this culture has gone, the fact that there is a Flash television show, there's an Arrow television show, Gotham is on the air, there are cartoons on the air, there's been an animated movie released, Batman versus Robin. I haven't even mentioned Star Wars yet. And if you think about doing all those things in a normal week, where do we have time for anything else?
And none of these actors, if you think about it, Seth, they don't get nominated for Academy Awards because the Academy is stuffy. They say that if you're acting to a green screen, you're not really an actor. I'd like to see them do it to a green screen sometime. There is acting going on there, but it is constantly overlooked.
Well, the issue then becomes, and this is something that I always have realized, is people need to either accept it or not. What I've noticed, though, is people have talked about the genres. Let me tell you the story about ConTV. ConTV's been around for 2 months. And the genesis of this was this fantastic company, Cinedigm and Wizard World, were talking about the idea that there is a thirst for this stuff. There is a growth for this stuff. I literally had a conversation. Like I said, I've been a sportscaster for 20 years.
Sure.
Someone literally said to me the words, "Would you want to talk about superheroes?" I said, "Oh my God, that's a job? That's a thing we could do and get paid for it?" I couldn't believe it. I was dumbfounded because this is stuff. The funniest part about it is, and you do television, so you know all the rigmarole, the prep that goes into it. But is it amazing to you that this could be about the Avengers or Daredevil or Captain America or C-3PO? The fact that these names are being talked about in that way shows the incredible growth. It's been amazing.
Although we do have to say that we're seeing pictures of cosplay. Some people should never wear skin-tight costumes. Yeah. That's one thing. I got 20 seconds left.
I will send you a picture. I took a picture with Captain America and Thor, both women and both in body paint.
Okay, body paint. I got 15 seconds left. You put out a tweet. If you're showing a child the Star Wars movies for the first time, do you show episodes 1 through 9 or 4 through? Wait a minute. Shouldn't you start
1 through 6?
1 through. Right. Shouldn't you go 1 through 9 to see them all, or 1 through 6, whatever it is? But see the first 6 in order. Yes.
It's a great debate because if you watch episodes 1, 2, and 3 first, it's chronological. They see Anakin Skywalker become Darth Vader. Then you don't have that amazing moment in episode 5, which is The Empire Strikes Back.
But the other side about it is, if we don't show them the first one, they'll never know that Jar Jar Binks ever existed. ConTV, Seth, we'll do it again. Thanks so much for joining us, my friend.
See ya.
All right, take care. Rock on, true believers. You can go see the movie. Have a good time. We're back on Tuesday right here on The Hardline.